This is instructions on how to set up a Twitter account. First thing you'll do is go to twitter.com and sign up with your name, email address, and a password. That's under the New to Twitter form. And then you'll be directed to the Join Twitter Today form. And the username, which becomes your Twitter handle, is probably the one thing you might want to tweak. I tried to put in Tom Hale Choral Guy, but that was too many letters, so I changed it to be Tom Hale Choir Guy, and that seemed to be okay. Now, if your Twitter handle's taken, you will have to try something else because there's only one unique Twitter handle per person. I'd leave the other fields checked as default and then say create my account. Now the goal here is to simply start following the ACDA of Minnesota Twitter tweets. And to begin, you have to build your timeline by following at least, I think, 5 people or organizations. So obviously the first one is ACDA of MN, so that's what you search for. Now it wouldn't let me just click the follow right off the bat. I had to actually open up the ACDA of Minnesota Twitter account and then follow it. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So then I put in ACDA, thinking I could find the other ACDA Twitter accounts, but the only one listed there was what looks like some ACDA only music from Germany maybe or something. So then I put in American Choral Directors to search for that, and that I got a little more results there with Tim Sharp, the executive director of ACDA. So I decided to follow his account. So whenever he tweets something, I'll see it in my Twitter feed. In my timeline, I decided to follow Eric Whitaker, who is an interesting composer to keep an eye on. And there wasn't really anything else there under ACDA, American Choral Directors. So then I searched for ACDA National, and that brought up the ACDA National website Twitter account, which again I had to open up to follow. So now that'll show up in my timeline when they tweet. This is another one I decided to check out was CoralNet, and they have a Twitter account. And so I couldn't open up there, so I just decided to follow it right there, and that worked. So there you go. What else? I'm trying to think of some others, so I decided to follow J.W. Pepper, which makes sense. They're a big supporter of ACDA of Minnesota. So I'd open up their account and follow their tweets in my timeline. Where else did I go? See, because it says there's a next button there. I don't have to keep adding, but I decided to add Choral Express. A lot of choirs are posting their concerts there, so I followed that. And I think I followed one more. I think it was Growth Music, which I think will pop up here in a second. There it is, Growth Music. So now you can go into your feed. Quiet, please. And you can upload an image if you want to. I decided to skip that. You can customize your timeline. And I just skipped all those options so that I could just see the tweets that are in my timeline. As you can see, there's quite a few right away. And if you hover over any of them, you could get some more options about retweeting or favoriting and so forth. I'm not going to go into all of that. But let's look at hashtags now. I typed in hashtag Summer Dialogue MN. Now that's the hashtag we're going to use to track the Summer Dialogue this summer. And if you can save that by clicking on that gear there and save that search, so you can keep that search saved and come back to it. A couple other hashtags that we're looking at using are related to honor choirs and the fall conference. That's on the Twitter instructions when you go to the Twitter instructions page. Here I'm typing out a tweet just to show you how that looks. If you've never typed out a tweet, it's basically like typing out a little message of only 140 characters. Down by the blue tweet button is the number of characters left that you have in order so you don't go over the 140. It'll keep track for you. You can put links in the tweet. You can get pretty fancy stuff going, but otherwise you can see my tweet is at the top there of my timeline. And if I click on the home button, that's the view that I get. You can also go into interactions and also discover buttons up above. And here I discovered the Chorus America Twitter account, so I decided to follow that. There's also the Classical NPR. So they're often given suggestions of other organizations. When you go into the Me button, you see just your tweets. And back to the home page. And just click on the settings button, and that'll bring up all the different settings for your account so you can make changes and tweak it, add a picture and all that stuff. Now I want to talk just a little bit about using hashtag SummerDialogueMN. So you see I've started typing the hashtag SummerDialogueMN in a tweet. And then I type the tweet, hey everyone, a great session happening here at 11 o'clock, or whatever you want your tweet to be. You could do this from your phone, and it's pretty subtle. I mean, you're not going to be disturbing anyone. But by putting the hashtag SummerDialogueMN, then everyone will know what everybody else is sharing. So now that tweet is sitting there at the top of my tweets. So if I go into the search button, I can search for there's the saved one that we saved before, and it'll just show all of those. Or you can actually click right in the tweet itself on the Summer Dialogue hashtag, and you'll see your own and the few. There's just a few there now, but obviously we hope there'll be a lot of sharing during Summer Dialogue. So I hope this helps and gets you started with your Twitter account and Summer Dialogue. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.